Welcome to Yoga for Traumatic Brain Injury. This is level 1. For practice, you may need a small cushion if you want a little bit of support for your head. You'll also need 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use large books or thicker cushions. We'll begin this practice in an easy seated position. Feel free to place a block or a cushion underneath if you need a little bit more support. Begin to tune into your body, feeling grounded through your sit bones, long through the spine. Your gaze can be lowered or the eyes can be closed. We'll take a moment to set an intention for practice today. And that could be just as simple as being present in your breathing. Remember, this is your practice. If at any point you need to pause and take rest, please do so. Exhale everything you're holding onto. Place a hand on the chest and a hand on the low belly. Start to inhale deeply through the nose, filling up the low belly all the way up to the collarbones. And gently release through the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times, inhaling deeply into the low belly, filling all the way up, and gently releasing. 1 more breath, just like that, inhaling deeply, holding at the top, and exhaling through the mouth. Begin to come back to your natural breath, placing your hands on your legs. Take a moment to observe the new space you created within you, just from those deep breaths. To stimulate the vagus nerve, we'll break down the sound of Om into 3 parts with a half Sun Salutation. Take an inhalation. We'll start with Ah. Ah. Inhale again. Oh. Inhale again. And release, coming back to a natural breath. Whichever foot you had tucked in closest to you, we'll bring that one out. Observe how it feels different from the other side. We'll begin to draw a box with our shoulders, inhaling them up, back, down, and forward, finding our full range of mobility. Once you've found your full range, feel free to make this motion as fluid as you'd like. And switch directions. Inhaling the shoulders back and exhaling them forward. And slowly come back to stillness. Finding a tall seat, start to tuck your chin in towards your chest. Breathe here, releasing the back of the neck. Slowly come back up to center, dropping the left ear down to the left shoulder. Feel free to place your right hand on your right shoulder to help ease it down. And if you'd like, you may give yourself a little massage, rubbing into the left side of the neck to help ease the muscles. With the chin as your guide, feel free to explore little micro movements while you're here. Slowly come back up to center and bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And the same options apply for this side. Slowly start to bring your head back up to center. If you need to readjust your seat, maybe switching out your feet again, feel free to do so. Find your way back to a tall seat. We'll do 3 half Sun Salutations again. You may add in the chant of Om, but if not, focus on length through the spine. And here we go, inhaling the arms up. Exhale the hands through heart center. Inhaling them up again. Exhale through heart center. And one more time, inhaling the arms up, finding length, exhaling the arms through, and release. With tented fingers, place the right hand down on the ground. Looking ahead of you, inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling, finding length first, and then exhaling over towards the right. Pull through those top fingers, feel a stretch through the ribs. Keep breathing evenly through the nose. Slowly release, coming back to center. We'll do the other side, placing the left hand down, inhaling the right arm up, finding length first, and exhaling over towards the left. Breathe here. You may stay right here, coming back up to center at any point. Or if you prefer, start to mindfully flow through this movement, bringing the right hand back down to the ground and the left arm over. And going back the other way, left arm down, right arm over. And we'll do that one more time each way. Right arm down, left arm over. Slowly make your way back up to center. Extend the left arm up. Bring your hand over to the right knee. Place your right hand behind you and intend to look over your shoulder. Find length through the spine. Is there anywhere in the body that you may be able to release tension? Perhaps your face. On your next exhalation, slowly start to cross the right arm over the left, maybe placing it on the left knee, or bring the hands closer together if you need a little bit more space. Begin to flex through the spine, tucking the chin in as much as feels good. Breathe into this cat spine flexion, finding space between the shoulder blades. Start to come back up to a normal spine, slowly unthreading the left arm and placing it behind you. We're going into a twist on the left side. Seat is tall, and we are mindfully breathing through the nose. On your next exhale, cross the left arm over the right, bringing it over to the right knee or in closer. And we'll go into that cat spine flexion one more time. Slowly come back up to center and place your hands behind you, fingers facing forward. Untuck your legs and bring them out in front. We'll place the soles of our feet together. And if you have any props that help support your legs, feel free to place them underneath now. And when you're ready, make your way all the way down to your mat. Settling into this reclined bound ankle pose. Begin to bend into your elbows, raising your hands towards the ceiling. Begin to roll out your wrists slowly. Feel free to wiggle your fingers. Make any movements that feel good for all the little joints in your fingers and your wrists. Continue with these movements, extending the arms all the way up. And then reach the arms behind you for a stretch. On your next exhale, bring them back down to your tummy. We'll do our first set of eye exercises now, the finger push-up. Point your left index finger, extending the arm all the way up. Slowly start to bring the finger in towards your nose. The moment the finger starts to divide into two, stop. And then slowly begin to raise it all the way up again. And we'll go through this several times at your own pace. Feel free to take this as slowly as you'd like, and if you need a break at any point, feel free to pause and close your eyes. One more finger push-up. And then slowly release, laying the hands down and closing the eyes to rest. Tune into your breathing and find relaxation throughout the body. Begin to stretch your arms up overhead. We're setting up for Bananasana. Start to slide both hands over to the right corner of your mat. Slide your feet over to the right corner of your mat as well. If this feels like enough sensation, stay here. Or if you'd like to intensify it, catch hold of your left wrist with your right hand and hook your left ankle over your right. Whichever variation you're in, be sure to breathe into the left side body, finding length. Release the hold you have on your left hand, unhook your left ankle, and we'll set up for the other side, sliding everything over to the left. Option to hook onto the right wrist and cross the right ankle over the left. And keep breathing in this shape, taking mindful inhalations and exhalations through the nose. Slowly begin to make your way back to center. And on your next exhalation, draw the knees in towards the chest, maybe holding on to the shins or wrapping your arms all the way around. You You can sway side to side here for a bit or hold in stillness. And begin to draw your knees towards your armpits, big toes touching. You can stay right here or extend your legs up for happy baby, holding on to either the shins or the outside edges of the feet. You can hold in stillness or add a gentle rocking sway. Intend the knees towards the ground and find softness through your low back. Slowly release, bringing your knees back in towards your chest, and using your right arm as a cushion, start to roll onto your right side, taking a fetal position. Take several deep breaths right here into the back side of your heart. Slowly make your way up to a kneeling position, tucking all your toes under for a toe stretch. Place a block underneath you if you need a bit of support in this position. With a lifted chest, stretch the arms out into a cactus formation and take a breath here. On the exhalation, first draw the left hand over to the right shoulder, crossing over the right hand to the left shoulder. Raise both elbows up so that your arms are parallel with the floor. We'll begin to draw a box with our elbows as our guide. This is a thoracic spine stretch, so try to keep your low back stable, and it's okay if the movement is very subtle. We'll begin drawing both elbows over to the left first, down, across to the right, and then up again, bringing them back to center. Switch directions, bringing them over to the right, down, across to the left, and then up again, meeting back in center. Expand the arms out, lifting the chest, and we'll cross over the other way. First, bringing the right hand to the left arm, left hand to the right arm. Arms over to the right, down, across, and up again. Come back to center, and then reverse the movement, taking the arms to the left, down, across to the right, and up again. Come back to center, and release the arms down. Your toes should be burning a little bit. Feel free to untuck them from underneath you if that feels best. Stretch your arms out into a T formation, chest lifted, and begin to draw circles going back and then forward. Feel the stretch through the chest, really drawing the shoulder blades together. And then switch directions. Feel free to take this movement as slowly as you'd like. Lower the arms beside you, and if you need to switch your sitting position, feel free to. We'll be doing the Sacades exercise next. Bring both index fingers out in front, keep the head still, and begin to draw your left finger out towards the side, just following with your gaze. The moment that you can't see it anymore in your peripheral, bring it back into center and switch fingers, bringing the right finger all the way out and then back. Really be mindful of keeping your head still, just following with the gaze. Take this exercise as slowly as you need to. Relax the hands back down and close your eyes to give your brain a break. Breathe here, finding softness where you can throughout the body. Begin to make your way all the way down to your belly. And once you're there, on tented fingers, place the hands down beside you, elbows facing up. On your next inhalation, we'll roll up all the way through the spine and then slowly back down. We'll do that again, inhaling up, rolling through the spine, and then slowly coming back down. You may continue with this movement, or if you would like to incorporate more strength into this movement, begin to draw your arms down long beside you, fingertips grounded. On your next inhalation, lift up through the chest, strong through the back line, and then slowly exhale down. Maybe on the next inhalation, you also lift your feet up, keeping the legs together. The last option is to cactus your arms out, bend into your knees, and on the inhalation, lift everything up towards the ceiling, hold for a moment, and slowly lower. We'll do that again, lifting and coming back down. One more time going up. And slowly come back down, relaxing all the way down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and slowly start to make your way all the way back to a child's pose position. Feel free to stay up on your forearms to keep your head elevated. Or if you'd like to use a soft cushion or block, you can place it underneath your head. Breathe into the low back and relax. Slowly begin to sit up and make your way to a seated position with your legs long in front of you. We're coming into staff pose, placing the hands down beside you, inhaling up for length through the spine, flexing through the feet, really ground down through your heels, legs, and hands. Breathe here, tucking the chin in slightly. Begin to extend your arms up overhead, and on the next exhalation, wave down through the spine, placing the hands down beside you. Slowly roll up, inhaling the arms up again, and exhale down, rolling through the spine. We'll stay here, placing the hands down on the ground, the shins, or maybe catching hold of the feet. Allow your head to relax. Feel free to add a generous bend to your knees if that feels more comfortable. Slowly inhale up and begin to draw the feet in together, soles touching. Bring them into the body as close as feels good. Hold on to the feet with your hands, and we'll inhale here, finding a tall seat. On your next exhalation, hinge forward, going down only as far as you can while keeping your spine long. Breathe into this shape, and if you find that it is too intense, feel free to take the feet slightly away from the body, maybe even adding in cushions underneath the knees for support. Slowly begin to inhale all the way up. Release the feet and extend both legs out long in front of you, coming into a straddle position. Place the hands down behind you for support. Feel free to do this on top of a block or cushion if you need a little bit of elevation. We'll take a moment to feel grounded, really rooting down through our sit bones, flexing through our feet, and finding openness through the chest. Breathing here and tuning into any sensations that arise. Begin to stretch your feet out, pointing your toes and flexing your heels. And then come back to stillness. We'll bring our left leg in, so we're in a tree pose on the ground. Bring your torso to face your left knee. And extend the left arm up overhead. And then exhale it over to the right, keeping the right toes flexed. Inhale to come back up, placing the left hand down. Shift your torso to face the right foot. Begin to reach for the shin or the foot, finding length through the spine, and relax down, intending the left kidney towards the right knee. Breathe here. Allow your head to relax as much as you'd like. Slowly lift yourself back up, placing your left hand beside your hip, and place your right hand in front of you for support. Begin to shift your weight onto your left leg and come up for a modified side plank. Pulling through the top fingers, really grounding down through the right foot for support. Slowly exhale, coming back down. And taking your time, we'll come to meet again in a wide-legged seated position. First, place the hands behind you again to find length, lifting up the chest. And then shift them both towards the front of you. Begin to walk your hands out in front as much as you can. Maybe coming down onto your forearms. Keep your feet flexed. If you can easily make it down to the ground without hunching over, feel free to do so. This is an intense stretch for the hamstrings, so meet yourself where you are without force. Slowly begin to walk your hands in. When you're upright, bend your right leg in, bringing your torso to face the right knee. Placing the left hand on the left leg, we'll inhale the right arm up and over. Breathe here. Feel free to keep the head relaxed. Release the pose, coming back up, and we'll bring our torso to face the left leg. Begin to reach for the shin or the foot, keeping the chest lifted first, and then exhale, forward fold over the leg. Feel free to take this stretch as passively as you'd like, and intend your right rib cage over towards your left leg, really centering yourself over it. Slowly come up, placing your right hand down by your right hip, placing your left hand out in front for support. Shift your weight into your right leg, lifting up for a modified side plank. Feel free to take this movement as slowly as you need to. Slowly lower back down. And if you were facing the long side of the mat like I was, bring yourself back to center, placing the hands behind you, feet out in front. We'll slowly begin to inhale the hips up, keeping the chin tucked in. For a balance challenge, begin to hover the left foot off the ground. If that feels safe, try hooking the left foot over the right thigh and lower back down to the ground. We're coming into a figure 4 shape, coming all the way down onto our backs. Be sure to keep the left foot flexed to protect the knee. Place your left hand down at the base of your left leg and give it a gentle push, observing the sensations that arise. If this feels like enough for you, stay right here. Or if you'd like to, you can release that and bring the figure 4 shape in close to your body, holding on to either the outside of the legs, or maybe threading your left hand through the hole, interlacing the fingers over the right shin. Release that and slowly uncross the left leg. We'll inhale up again for a reverse table, and then hover the right foot. If that feels good, maybe hook it over the left leg before coming back down. And we'll do the other side, placing the right hand at the base of the right leg, giving it a gentle push. Stay here or release, bringing the figure 4 shape in, holding on to the outsides of the legs or threading your right arm through for an interlace. Gently release everything back down to the ground. No rush. We'll meet in an easy seated position. Place a block or cushion underneath if you would like a bit more support. We'll do the vestibular exercise. Extend your index finger out in front of you, keeping the finger in place, and your focus on the finger. Begin to tilt your head all the way over to one side and then the other. The moment the finger starts to get blurry in your peripheral, come back to center. Take this exercise at your own speed. Release the hand back down, close the eyes and take rest. Slowly start to make your way down all the way onto your right side. Prop yourself up on your forearm for support. We're coming into a pose called cat catching its tail. First, we extend the top leg out long in front, bending into the bottom leg, and maybe catching the foot behind you. Keep the foot out in front of you flexed. Breathe here. If this feels comfortable, start to stretch your right arm out long, bringing your right shoulder down to the ground. Maybe extending the top leg out longer, perhaps even hooking the big toe with the thumb and index finger. This is an intense posture. If there is any pain or discomfort, go back to the first version. Whichever version you're in, return your focus to your breathing, even breaths through the nose. Slowly release the pose, making your way back onto your back with your legs bent, soles of the feet planted. Start to walk your feet out to the edges of your mat and slowly windshield wiper the legs side to side a few times. If you find a sweet spot, feel free to hold it for a breath. Bring both knees back up to center and start to extend both legs out long. Slowly begin to roll onto your left side, propping yourself up on your forearm. We'll set up for cat catching its tail on this side, extending the top leg out long and bending into the bottom one, maybe catching the foot with your hand. Stay here if this is enough for you, or start to make your way down to the ground, planting your left shoulder, extending the top leg out even more, hooking the big toe if you can, and perhaps grabbing the foot behind you. Whichever version you're in, direct your focus to the rhythm of your breathing. Gently release the pose and make your way back down to your back. Knees are bent. Walk your feet out wide again. We'll windshield wiper the legs once again to release the low back. Taking your time with this movement. Bring the knees back up and bring them in towards your body for a little hug. Perhaps with a prop to help with support, start to place both knees down towards the right side. Feel free to extend the left arm out long, and if it feels good for your neck, follow with your gaze. Breathe into this twist. On the exhalations, draw your navel in towards your spine, removing all the stale air in the low belly. And on the inhalations, feel expansion through the rib cage, stretching the intercostal muscles. To find more depth in this twist, intend your left shoulder down to the mat. If the mind has wandered, bring it back to the breath. Slowly release, coming back up to center. We'll give our knees a little squeeze in, and then set up for the other side, placing the legs down towards the left and using a prop underneath or in between for more support. Stretching the right arm out long and following with your gaze if that feels good for your neck. Return your focus to your breath, observing how this side may feel different from the other. Check in to see if there's anywhere in your body that you can release tension, perhaps softening through the jaw and tongue, maybe bringing softness to the hands and feet. Release the pose and come back up to center, bringing your head up first, followed by the legs. Taking your time to get there, we'll come to meet in an easy seated position. Your seat is tall and your sit bones are grounded. We'll exhale everything we're holding on to. On the next inhalation, start to draw your shoulders up to your ears, holding at the top, and then release, exhaling through the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times, inhaling the shoulders up and release. 1 more time, inhaling them all the way up and release. Come back to a natural breath and bring your palms together in prayer. Begin to rub your hands together, creating heat and friction between them. And then place them over your face, enjoying the heat. You can give yourself a gentle massage while you're here, rubbing small circles into the temples and maybe down the sides of your face and around your jaw. Anything that feels good. Dropping the hands, begin to make your way down into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Stretching the legs out long in front. Feel free to take up as much space as you'd like with your arms and legs. Begin to release any tension you're holding on to in the forehead and between the brows. Relax the face, soften the jaw. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Core is soft, and your limbs are heavy. Release all control, completely surrendering to gravity. Take a moment of gratitude, thanking yourself for showing up to practice today. Feel free to continue resting in this shape for as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me for practice. Sending you all peace, love, and healing.